Your television is going to die years before it should. And it won't be the screen that kills it. It won't crack. It won't go dark. One ordinary morning you'll turn it on, the picture as perfect as the day you bought it, and the app you watch every single night will flash one small message. This version is no longer supported. And that's it. A flawless screen, on its way to the landfill. Because the brain inside it quietly died while the picture stayed perfect. That's the smart TV trap, and in 2026, it's the single most common way a good television dies before its time. The panel is built for 10 years. The software running your apps is often abandoned in 3 or 4. And when that clock runs out, it drags a perfectly good screen down with it. So today, why it happens, which TVs survive it, and which walk you straight into it, and the $50 fix that brings almost any dying smart TV back to life for years. Stay with me, because once you see this, you'll never throw away a good television for the wrong reason again. Start with the thing nobody explains at the store. Your television has 2 completely separate lives, running on 2 completely separate clocks. The first is the hardware. The panel, the backlight, the boards, on a decent set that is built to run 10 years or more. The second life is the software, the operating system, the app store, the security updates, the thing that lets Netflix and YouTube and your news app actually open and stay open. And here is the cruel part. Those 2 clocks do not run at the same speed. The hardware clock ticks slowly, over a decade. The software clock, on a lot of televisions, runs out in 3 to 4 years. And a television is only as alive as its shorter clock. And I want to be honest about how this actually feels, because it happens to a lot of you watching, and it is maddening. It does not fail all at once. It creeps. First, the menus start to hesitate, a half-second pause that was not there when it was new. Then the remote feels slow, like the television is thinking before it listens. An app gets slower to open, then slower, then one day it will not open at all. Text gets harder to read as the interface changes under you, and slowly, watching television, the thing that is supposed to be the easy part of your day starts to feel like work. On a set whose picture is still absolutely perfect. That is the trap. Nothing is broken. The screen is beautiful, and yet the television is dying in your hands, one app at a time. And if a video that shows you how to stop throwing away perfectly good televisions is worth something to you, hit the like button right now. It genuinely pushes this to the next person about to bin a good screen for the wrong reason. And subscribe for honest TV advice with no hype and no sponsors. And tell me down in the comments, has this happened to you? A television with a great picture that got slow and useless? And what set was it? I read them all, and the pattern in your answers is genuinely useful to everyone here. So why does it happen? Follow the money, because it is not an accident. Supporting old software costs a manufacturer real money, every year, for a television they already sold and made their profit on. There is no reward for keeping a 5-year-old set updated, so a lot of brands, especially the cheap ones, quietly stop. The team that wrote the updates moves on to this year's models. The apps keep evolving, demanding more memory and newer security, and your television, frozen in time, slowly falls behind until it cannot keep up. The screen never knew any of this happened. It is still ready to give you another 6 years. The company just stopped answering the phone. And let me make that real with the kind of set half of you have probably owned. Picture a perfectly decent television bought back in 2020. On day 1, the apps open the instant you press the button. By 2022, they are a touch slower, but fine. By 2024, the app you use every night takes 10 or 15 seconds to load, the home screen stutters when you scroll, and one service has dropped support entirely so it will not open at all. The panel has not changed one bit in those 4 years. It is exactly as bright and sharp as the day it arrived. But the experience has quietly rotted from the inside, and most people, not knowing any of this, conclude the television is old and worn out and go buy a new one. They just threw away a perfect screen because the free software wrapped around it expired. That is the trap doing its job. Now the part that saves you money. Which televisions actually survive this, and which walk you straight into the trap? because the gap between brands here is enormous, and it is completely invisible in the store. At the top, the longest supported name in the business right now is Samsung. Samsung has committed to 7 years of software updates on its recent televisions. 7 years. That is close to the life of the panel itself, and it is a real, checkable promise, not marketing. Buy a Samsung, and the smart brain stays current for the better part of a decade. Right behind it are the other serious brands. Sony and most of the good Google TV sets, and LG with its webOS system, all tend to keep their televisions supported and usable for years, because these are companies that intend to still be selling televisions in a decade and cannot afford to abandon buyers. And then there is the trap. The cheap, no-name smart televisions. The ones with an unfamiliar brand and a familiar app logo on the box. These are the fastest to be abandoned, because the company behind them has no long-term reputation to protect and no reason to spend $1 updating a set you already bought. The picture might be acceptable on day one. The smart system is often on borrowed time from the moment you plug it in. And here is the twist that catches careful people. Even some televisions running a big-name platform like Roku or Google TV can be built by a bargain factory that cut the memory and the processor so thin that the system chokes within 2 years, no matter whose logo is on the menu. The platform is only half the story. The cheap hardware underneath it is the other half. And this is exactly why those shockingly cheap smart televisions are so tempting and so dangerous. When a brand new set with all the apps built in costs almost nothing, ask yourself where the money was saved. It was not saved on the box or the logo. It was saved on the processor and the memory that run the smart system, the exact parts that determine how long that system stays usable. So the cheaper the smart TV looks, the shorter its smart clock usually runs. You are not buying a bargain. You are buying a screen with an expiry date stamped on the part you cannot see, which is frustrating until you realize the whole problem has a fix so simple it turns that expiry date into a non-issue. So here is the 30-second check that saves you, and it costs nothing. Before you buy any television, search the exact model with the words software support. If the brand publishes a clear update commitment, like Samsung's 7 years, you are safe. If you cannot find any promise at all, assume the smart system is on a short clock and plan for it. And that plan is the good news, because it is cheap, it is easy, and it works on almost any television ever made. Here is the fix, and if it just saved you from binning a good television, that is your cue to hit that like button. If the smart brain in your television dies, or you just want to bypass a slow one, you do not replace the television. You replace the brain. For somewhere between $50 and $200, you plug a small streaming box or stick into a spare HDMI port on the back, and that little device becomes the new brain. Fast, current, fully supported, with every app you could want. The television becomes what it always should have been, a beautiful screen, and the box does the thinking. A 10-year-old television with a dead smart system and a fresh streaming stick is a modern smart TV again, for the price of a nice dinner out. And I know the objection, because I hear it every time. I do not want another box, another remote, another thing to figure out. Fair. But here is the reality. You set it up once, in about 10 minutes. You switch the television to that one input, and from then on you never touch the television's own menu again. The box's remote becomes your only remote. There is no ongoing hassle, no clutter beyond a device the size of a bar of soap tucked behind the set. One evening of setup buys you years of a fast, modern television. That is one of the best trades in this entire hobby, and almost nobody makes it because almost nobody knows the option exists. So let me walk you through the 4 that matter, because they are not all the same, and every one of them is linked below with its current price. At the top, the Apple TV 4K, at around $200. It is the most expensive, and it is the fastest, smoothest, longest supported box you can buy. Apple keeps its devices updated for many years, so this is the one you buy once and forget. If you want the best and you keep things a long time, this is it. In the middle, the Google TV streamer, at around $100. It runs the same Google system a lot of good televisions use. It is quick, and it has the biggest app library there is. A superb all-rounder. On the value end, the Roku Streaming Stick 4K. under $100, often well under. Roku's whole promise is simplicity, and for a lot of you, especially anyone who wants a clean, no-clutter menu with big clear text and no learning curve, that is exactly the right answer. It is the easiest of all of these to live with, and if you are setting one up for a parent or just want the least fuss, it is the one I point people to first. And the Fire TV Cube, under 150, is the pick if you already live in the Alexa world and want to talk to your television and control your smart home from the couch. Any one of these solves the problem completely. My honest steer, if you want it once and never think about it, the Apple. If you want the simplest daily experience, the Roku. If you want the best middle ground, the Google. Now, one honest exception, because I am not going to pretend a $50 stick fixes everything. The box only replaces the brain, not the screen. So if the actual problem is the panel, if the picture has gone dim, or a backlight zone has failed, or there are dead patches or heavy color shift, then no streaming device on Earth will save it, because you would be putting a fast new brain behind a failing screen. The stick fix is for the extremely common case where the picture is still genuinely good, and only the software has aged out from under it. That is most slow televisions, but not all of them. So before you spend $1, be honest about which problem you actually have. If the screen still looks great and it is just slow, fix it for pocket change. If the screen itself is going, that is when you genuinely replace the set. And everything from the first half of this video, the brands that last, the ones that do not, applies all over again. So which are you right now? Is your current television already getting slow and annoying? Or are you shopping for a new one and trying to avoid this whole mess? Because the answer changes what you do next, and I have got both of you covered. Because the buying rule that comes out of all this is beautifully simple, and it changes everything. Stop buying a television for its smart features. Buy it for the panel, the brightness, the picture, the build, the things that genuinely last 10 years. And treat the built-in smart system as a temporary bonus, not the reason you bought it. Because you now know it may not go the distance, and you now know how to replace it for pocket change. That single shift protects you from the trap completely. A gorgeous panel with a mediocre smart system is a great buy, because you can fix the smart part. A mediocre panel with a slick smart system is a bad buy, because you cannot fix the part that matters. So if you are shopping, here is how it comes together. Buy a television from a brand that both makes a genuinely good panel and supports its software for years. So you get the best of both. A set that lasts, and a brain that lasts with it. A Samsung with its 7-year promise. A good Sony or Google TV set. An LG with a strong panel and webOS. All three are linked below with their current prices. And no matter which you choose, budget a little for a streaming box down the road, or even from day one if you want the fastest experience now. That is the complete 10-year plan. A great screen you chose for the screen, and a brain you can always refresh. And notice what this does to the whole way you shop. Once you know the smart system is replaceable, that entire section of the sales pitch, the fancy interface, the voice assistant, the exclusive apps, all of it stops mattering. It becomes a bonus, not a deciding factor. You walk past the salesperson demoing the slick menu, and you go straight to the two things that actually last, the panel and the build. You have taken the one part of the decision that ages badly and made it irrelevant. For $50 to $200, whenever you feel like it. That is a genuinely powerful position to shop from, and it is the opposite of how the industry wants you buying. And if your current television is the one getting slow, do not you dare throw it out. If the panel still looks good, it has years left in it. Spend the $50 to $200, plug in the box, use that as your input from now on, and ignore the built-in system entirely. You will be amazed how new a 5-year-old television feels the moment a fast, modern brain is doing the work. That is not a downgrade. That is the smartest money in this entire hobby, because it turns a set you were about to replace into a set that keeps going for years. So tell me before you go, what is the shortest a smart TV's software has ever lasted you before it got too slow to use? And what brand was it? Drop it below, brand and years, and let's see who has had the worst of it, because those stories are exactly how the next person avoids the trap. Because in the end, the smart TV trap is really just a misunderstanding about what you are buying. You are buying a screen. The smart part was always going to age, on every television ever made. And the people who never get caught are simply the ones who knew that going in. Buy the panel, plan for the brain, and no television you own ever has to die with a perfect picture still on its face. Buy the screen you love, and keep the brain forever young, for the price of a dinner. And next time, we go back to the wall and settle another one, because there is a specific setting hiding in almost every television sold today that is quietly shortening its life, right now, tonight, while you watch, and turning it off takes 10 seconds. The settings that are killing your TV, and how to stop them. Hit subscribe so it finds you, and I will see you then.